Georgia Congressman Rich McCormick serves on the House Foreign Affairs Committee and joins us now. Congressman, good morning to you. So just when you thought the president couldn't make any more news, he goes over to the Middle East to try and get $1 trillion worth of deals for the United States. But talk to us about the significance of this moment with the president about to head on over to the royal court to meet with Mohammed bin Salman and have several meetings with him today.
Yeah, you're talking about three countries that are very important to the United States, to the peace process over in that region. You're talking about Saudi Arabia, one of the wealthiest countries in the world. The energy production that comes out of there, the influence of those countries on the Abraham Accords, the peace process that can be pursued with Israel, the $1 trillion of investment in the United States economy. This could be huge for everything we're trying to accomplish.
Today, the focus appears to be on this investment forum that Trump is expected to speak at. It's labeled an investment forum, but boy, this sure seems like it really is a tech forum with some of the names that you're hearing. We've got Musk, Zuckerberg, Altman. And when I hear those names, Congressman, it feels to me like this is a real warning shot to China that, hey, we are going to beat you in this AI race. And you know how we're going to do it? We're going to use Middle East money to do it. What do you think about that?
We're going to need all hands on deck. When you took about 50% of all AI research is being done in China, it's a real war. It's going to be a united effort in developing this AI. We know that China has had nefarious actions in development, stealing technologies, manipulating the World Trade Organization. They have real investment advantages when they use the Chinese money to back companies that otherwise would not be successful. This is a trade war, essentially. We saw what President Trump just did with Xi Jinping in negotiations with tariffs. I think that's going to benefit the United States in huge ways. But I think the United States and other countries are on to what China has been doing historically, and we're going to combat that with this kind of technology investment.
Yeah, and on that front, and the news on the 90-day pause, yesterday the president said that he's about to get real hands-on with China and even have a potential phone conversation with Xi Jinping later this week. Listen to this.
I'll speak to President Xi maybe at the end of the week. We have some other things we're doing. But one of the biggest things that we're doing, and I don't know if people realize this, but we made a great deal with China, great trade deal.
Yeah, and taking on China, Congressman, is something President Trump has talked about for years. So no doubt that these conversations later this week will be formative.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. If you think about the way the market reacted when we were initially having problems with the tariffs, and people don't realize how smart President Trump is, how he's able to literally get people to go to a 0-0 tariff. I understand that they have left over probably 10% on both sides. That's about as good as you could possibly get, especially with China. This is going to stabilize the market. It's going to make the economy hum. I'm excited about what it's going to have on the impact of the stock market. This is, once again, his brilliance in dealing with business negotiations around the world.
In that soundbite that Carly played, you heard him say other things that he's dealing with when it comes to China. What other things, Congressman, do you want to see Trump secure with Xi? Obviously, the focus is the tariffs. And like you mentioned in your earlier answer, the focus has to be on making sure that China can no longer steal our intellectual property. But beyond those two talking points, what else do you want to see Trump secure from Xi Jinping?
They've always had trade barriers against our products getting into their country. Those need to be removed. If you look at the way they manipulated the World Trade Organization since they've been a part of it, I think we've taken them to court probably 27 times. We beat them all 27 times. They just get better at cheating. We need to make sure that they actually come at us with fair play. You saw what President did with the executive order on how they investigate the drug manufacturers, for example. In the United States, you just show up unannounced. Over there, we have to have a huge warning. They get to cover up their mistakes. They don't have the same testing regulations. It's about time to have equal playing fields for pharmaceuticals and all other productions so that they can't have unfair advantages. And that's really important to how we approach this world economy into the future.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, you know, Congressman, as you were talking, I was thinking about, you know, President Trump will soon arrive at the royal court in Saudi Arabia. And I was reminded of President Biden's trip to the region and that infamous fist bump that the Crown Prince gave him after President Biden called him a pariah. Donald Trump has a much warmer relationship with Saudi Arabia and the Crown Prince, and even that relationship could keep China at bay and impact Iran as well.
Yeah, it's one thing that really upset me was when Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize. We saw what was going on in the Middle East at the time. We saw how it was in Afghanistan at the time. I'm from the Afghanistan conflict, and I tell you what, that was so insulting. Now you have a guy who's going over there who designed the Abraham Accords, probably the most influential peace accord in that region in our lifetime. Somebody who's actually united countries that are typically at odds with each other, both financially and making sure that they had a peace process they could actually negotiate. It actually is President Trump that should have gotten the Nobel Peace Prize. And I don't say that tongue in cheek. I mean it sincerely, especially as a guy who's been in that Middle East area for a long time and seen just the hate and discontent between countries and what President Trump means to that region.
Congressman Rich McCormick, we threw a lot at you. Great answers. Appreciate your time this morning, sir, on a very historic morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman.